Okay, so the next thing we're going to go over is discussing residents who are going to discharge or have planned to discharge home in the revenue meeting. We're already doing that somewhat, but we're going to kind of expand on that. Now, earlier I said that this was only applies to Medicare Part A residents, this quality measure. That is true. But we are also going to use managed care. We're going to do managed care residents in here. So this is only really going to apply for starting for Medicare Part A and managed care, this process. Because again, even though there's no quality measure associated with managed care, we want to still build good relationships with those insurance companies and make sure that our residents are not, that are managed care, and when they go home, that they stay home. The insurance saves money by doing that. So we want to be a good partner with them. So Medicare Part A and managed care, this will apply to, this process will apply to both. So let's say this resident here just admitted yesterday. So now, from this point forward, if the resident's Medicare or managed care, skilled, when they admit, one of the UDAs that's going to trigger on admission, just like the admission and admission nurses' notes and all the ratings and all that, the discharge to home instructions version 2 is also going to trigger. That's because, again, we have to start working on discharge from day one. From the day they admit, we are working towards their discharge. Because, again, that just makes a better successful discharge. So when you do that, when someone comes in and you're at your first revenue meeting, you need to have a computer in that revenue meeting. So you can then open up PCC, go into this, and we can start completing this now. So typically what's going to happen in Part A and managed care residents, you're going to come to see next assessment due, and of course this is a testing environment, so it's not going to show up, but you would see discharge to home instructions right there. So you would click it right there, just start it, and it would open up, and then you would start editing. Now, that's only on the first revenue meeting that this resident, after they admit. Now, afterwards, there's a little bit of change to that. So what you're going to do is, if it's, say we're 3 or 4 days into this, you're going to come to type, and you're going to drop that down, and you're going to say discharge to home instructions version 2, and then that's all that's going to show up on the list of assessments. And from that point, we're just going to edit. So that's how you access this. So section 1 is the IDT, that's the interdisciplinary team. Those are the ones who are in the revenue meeting. Now, typically in the revenue meeting, there's an EDS case manager, a therapy representative, I think the business office is in there. And then what has to happen is nursing administration needs to be in there as well. Either the ADON or DON, either one, doesn't have to be both, shouldn't be both. But just one of those have to be in here to help especially discuss, with our managed care, and especially with these discharges. Again, this is an interdisciplinary process. So again, you'll see this section is to be started on admission and updated as information is known. Of course, you got your anticipated discharge date. We're going to say we're going to discharge this person on the 19th, and we're going to go through, do they have any post-discharge appointments or visits? If you say yes, it's going to ask, well, with who? And you got the doctor's name and telephone number, the date and time of their appointment, or if they have home health coming to make their first visit, you can add them in there, the date and time of their appointment. Are they going to require any community care and support services, like home health, or not? I'm sorry, like Meals on Wheels or anything like that, any kind of community support for elderly and disabled folks at home. Are they going to need any special equipment? Yes or no? If yes, what's that special equipment? Special equipment that a DME will need to provide. The date and time that we contacted the DME provider and let them know. Now, a lot of times, home health may take care of that. So if you just have to communicate with our home health to make sure that we get there, because we want the resident to go home, have everything they need as soon as they hit the door. Then also we have a question here: will the facility pharmacy fill the resident's medications on day of discharge? Now, the bulk of our facilities use farm care. There's only a few that do not use farm care. But farm care has this ability to where they can do what they call split billing. So when a resident's on Medicare Part A, or managed care or any skilled service, we provide them their medications while they're in our facility. Now, those technically are not their medications, the resident's medications, because we are paying for those. The resident's not paying for those medications. We get a per diem. It's built into our per diem. So technically, when a resident leaves, they're not supposed to take that medicine with them. We're supposed to send that back for refunds. But what Farm Care has came up with, and it's brilliant, is that they can do what they call split billing. So if they know when that resident's leaving, they can then send that resident's medications on the day of discharge and have that, so that resident, when they leave the facility, they will have all their medications, probably for the next 30, 90, whatever days that their insurance allows, provided by Farm Care. So Farm Care would send, let's say they're on Lasix, and Farm Care sent us 7 days worth, and they've got 3 days worth of what is left out of our 7. But they're discharging. So what Farm Care is going to do is going to send them another 30-day supply. So when they leave, they will take that whole card with them. That's their medicine because their insurance bought that, their Part D or whatever. So we are moving towards that, and that is just so helpful. Is that when they go home, they don't have to worry about going to get their medicines or anything like that. That's totally up to the resident if they want to do that or not. But to me, it's a no-brainer. They can leave the facility, have all their required medications with them right there. And I think Farm Care will even do refills. Now that is, you will be getting some invites from Farm Care about this process, and that will be coming soon. So be on the lookout for that and attend one of those trainings. And then there's support system at home. We need to check and see have all that, because based on what we do here, it could be, we make changes up here. They may need Meals on Wheels if they just live at home and have no support. And then, of course, we always have our facility phone number there. So the IDT team should be concentrating on this. And typically in our facilities, social services is very involved in setting up home health referrals and all that. So we just need to all work together. And while we're in that revenue meeting, we need to be completing this. So we have to know the home health referral. Let's update this. If we know the date and time, then let's put that in there. So because when it comes to day of discharge, the charge nurse is going to do the rest of it. And if we have it, the more we have filled out for that charge nurse, the better it is. And the better, the more reliable the information is going to be, that we have the right stuff getting to the resident when they discharge. Because the nurse is going to print this off and also provide this to them when they leave. Now there's another section here for therapy. Have some therapy. You're just going to choose all 5. Therapy home eval has been complete, or therapy training related to care at home is complete. and they can check that, or it can be checked. And then there's also therapy notes. We can add notes in that. So this should be documented again in that meeting. And once you're finished for that meeting, you just save it. Don't ever lock it. The only person that should be locking this is the charge nurse. So don't lock that. Just save and exit. And that way, when the charge nurse is on date of discharge, can go in, search it, and update it as needed. So on the next time we have a revenue meeting, we can come back in here, look it up, edit that, make changes as needed, save it again, and all that. So use this as your template to discuss the residents who have plans to discharge. And like I said, once you do the first one, you don't have to ever, you can always just search over here for the discharge to home instructions, because what's going to happen is as assessments are being done, these are pushed down. They're going to be, because it's in date order. So and it only shows the most recent 15, I think. So it's going to be pushed down, but if you come over here and you just filter everything out to where you just want to see the discharge to home instructions, it pops up and you just edit. So don't create a new one each time. Do not create a new UDA each time. And that is our instructions for the revenue meeting.